come to the bold analysis. It's a very heartbreaking story. Dedan Kimathi's surviving widow, Kimathi, has been detained in Nairobi hospital because of a 1 million debt, or rather pending bill on her medication after she was diagnosed with pneumonia and has been in the hospital for the last 1 week. I think it's now barely 2 weeks. This is something that I analyzed recently in one of my videos here, that this channel of Mau Mau with politicians from the mountain led by Rigiji, branding themselves with the Mau Mau warrior tag, was lacking spark because descendants of Mau Mau were not feeling happy and actually are suffering. Little did they know that Dedan Kimathi's wife or widow was ailing and was actually hospitalized in Nairobi hospital. Today, that has been a very heated conversation in social media with different people reacting to what it is. And I know many times we normally do analysis on a couple of issues on politics, but a nation defines itself by how it treats its own people. A nation should treat its own people, her own people, well. So what's going on? Because I analyzed that before President Kibaki left, and I saw a Twitter here, before President Kibaki left power, he's the person that at least supported Dedan Kimathi's family a bit by even footing the medical bills of Dedan Kimathi's widow, who was flown all the way to Nairobi and had been receiving treatment here, and they even got a home. They had a home in Komarok. Kabando has reacted saying, "Dear Rais William Ruto, President Kibaki, while unveiling charter to the Dedan Kimathi, gave comprehensive welfare benefits to Mama Mukami Kimathi, widow to Field Marshal Dedan Kimathi. Kindly revive the scheme, please get her released from the hospital." Then he tagged Interior and Ababu Namwamba, who is, I think, in charge of sports and culture. So this also falls around there. Field Marshal Dedan Kimathi's story is all over. And in Nairobi, you see Saramuzake University was named after the Field Marshal Dedan Kimathi. And these are the people that paid the ultimate price. These are the people that paid the price. The family has called on Kenyans to contribute to help for the release of the mother by donating. And the daughter, while speaking in the media, said that she have tried efforts to reach out to the top leadership of the country led by William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua, and the efforts are yet to bear fruits. This is despite the fact that at the height of campaigns, Rigiji promised Mama Mukami Kimathi that he's going to ensure two things. He's going to ensure that the remains of Field Marshal Kimathi, who were being rumored to have been buried somewhere in Kamiti maximum prison, will be brought so that the family will pay last respect, or rather, she will bury the husband before going upwards. Her health is been deteriorating, but of course, God have still granted her life. It's very, I want to say, it's a bit demoralizing and irresponsible if we don't take care of the people that paid the ultimate price. We have seen a consistent, or rather, a deliberate scheme to make sure that we suppressed the past. We suppress the past. And that has not worked well with it. But we have this tabia in Africa. Let me just take you off beat at that a bit. During Catherine Kasavuli's burial, and I attended the sermon in Nairobi, the revelations from that place were very shocking. That Kasavuli even struggled to get treatment overseas, Germany and India. But the biggest impediment to that was the finances. In Nairobi, there were even issues of rent. I understand. There were also issues of rent. So while at it, all that she had, she really spent in the treatment. It reached a point where she could not bear it anymore. Now, I realized that the road to her rural home was kidogo kidogo, tarmacked, semi-tarmac. So that the people that were going to attend the burial would arrive there, would easily go there, reach the place. And also, even the funeral service back home had to be done in the nearest school because they could not still access her resting place. While at her death, we all rose to the occasion, and the money to be raised for burial was out within a day, with top leadership donating millions. But why do we celebrate people in death? Many people have asked. Why do we celebrate people when they're going upwards? But when they're here with us, we don't want to celebrate them. That is the thing. Now, the family of the widow of Field Marshal Dedan Kimathi is asking for help. But God forbid, if it would get to a point where we are contributing for the interment rights, then you'll see the top leadership rising to the occasion and writing very big English in their social media pages. On this one, we're a bit unapologetic to the leadership that we need to do something. Why do we need to honor our heroes? This instills a sense of patriotism, and we remember those who paid the ultimate price. Some of these stories, we know they're being suppressed, but there are people, for me, I have had a privilege of speaking to some of our good elders here in this channel. And our elders speak one thing, that unless we look at where we are coming from, we'll never know what the value of what we have. From the Mau Mau fight all the way to the Moi era, and now we don't know, because the place huko nyuma wazee wako kwa hii channel watakwambia things were not good. So we need to instill patriotism. I want to say one thing. There have been a call by the British, our colonizers, to compensate some of the families over the ills back then. That cannot gain momentum, because how are they going to get the motivation and even the zeal, the push to do it, if ourselves, we don't value them back at home? We've named them after institutions. We've created some monuments, but that is not yet enough. We don't get the real push. I'm waiting for the day the stories about them will take a headline of mainstream media and newspaper headlines when they are still alive, and we were talking about the need for their value. But we want to splash them in the headlines when they are going upwards, or when they are upwards. That must not be the norm. And when we value them here, our colonizers and people who committed ills against them will also feel shamefaced and also honor them. Dedan Kimathi symbolizes the Kikuyu community's fight for freedom of this country. The people from the region, or rather our forefathers from the region that fought for this, what we have. And that's why if Dedan Kimathi would arise today and see how we have treated the descendants of Mau Mau, then rather pray we go back to where we are. We are a nation that must learn from our past. We must appreciate what we have. And on this, we are calling on the political leadership. That, as Kabano says, there was already, Kibaki had already left very good scheme on how it will help. And there is nothing new that the president is supposed to do. If anything, Kenya Kwanza are starting from where Kibaki left it, not where Uhuru left it. So Kibaki left a very good scheme for them. President, ball on your court. Let's get the good news that Mama Mukami Kimathi has been released. And many more. I have seen people being appointed into commissions, side commissions here and there. We need to create spaces so that even the descendants of these, our heroes, get a space. And that's why personally I don't have a problem when you see descendants of people who fought for the freedom of this country getting somewhere. Because if anything, that's the only way to pay the ultimate price. It would be a shame that your father fought for this nation, but you're languishing in poverty. Sadly enough, that's the situation.
Main your analysis.